Hello, friends. How are you today? I hope you're doing well. I just wanted to come to you very quickly to talk about Hollywood types. I do a lot of dismantling Hollywood in these videos, and I want to talk about the type of personality of someone who has an ambition for that type of fame. And I wanted to share with you a story that proves to you that you do not have to actually be in Hollywood or be a successful Hollywood person in order to share this kind of sick energy. I mentioned before, did I say this already, that I had 3 major relationships in my life? And I write about 2 of them in the book. And one of the relationships I sort of make a joke about, I gloss over it and I make a funny joke about. And that was the relationship that I had with a guy who was a stand-up comedian. And I don't like him. I have a lot less respect for him than I do the other 2 guys that I dated, even though all 3 of them kind of behaved in a way at the end, obviously, that broke us up and made me not want to talk to them anymore. This guy, there was something about his behavior during the relationship that made him unbelievably distasteful. And he left a bad taste in my mouth to this day. So much so that I didn't even want to include him in the book, partially because of his enormous ego. This guy is one of those Hollywood types. Now, he has never been successful in Hollywood. He's never done anything in Hollywood, but he's a wannabe kind of guy. And it's interesting because all 3 of the men that I dated were very talented, very gifted. He was a very funny stand-up comedian. I dated a very talented chef and a very, very talented musician. In fact, the musician was more successful in the industry. He worked for a major 80s crooner for many, many years. And he was not a Hollywood type. This guy was kind of a player, kind of a sidewinder, kind of an opportunist. He was willing to do kind of shady things for money, even in Las Vegas. And he just had no loyalty. He was willing to sell out anything. He was always looking for the next best thing. Like the kind of person who would be even talking to his girlfriend and scoping the room for somebody of a higher standard or stature that he felt that he could be talking to anyway. Instead. And that is a Hollywood type. And you don't have to ever make it there to have that type of energy. You have to be a sort of cutthroat, heartless scoundrel in order to even make it into that world. Other than having to give up a tremendous amount, you already have to be a certain type of person to want that kind of fame and to be willing to do the things that you have to do to get it. And that type of person, really, whether they have the fame or not, whether they made it all the way or not into this industry, is distasteful to me. I do not like that, and especially do not like that in a man. And that is why a lot of these ploys by these people who were of stature fell on completely deaf ears and just dead eyes with me, because I don't like that kind of energy. And I would never even entertain any kind of relationship, even a friendship, with a human being that possesses those skills. When I dated this comedian, I was very young. I was only 28 years old, and I really didn't know any better. And I really just went for the guy who had the most skill, the most talent, and seemed like he was nice at the time. I just didn't get that kind of energy is just not nice. And he was always using people. He was always trying to get a leg up. He was always doing all of that Hollywood stuff, even though he wasn't a Hollywood guy. And he's not the only person I've met in my life that has that kind of energy. But every time it is really just as off-putting. It's even more off-putting when you don't make it to a level of success with that kind of energy. And I just wanted to bring that up just to let you know that these types exist all over, not just in Hollywood. And it's a type of energy that you have to possess in order to make it in a world full of sidewinders. Okay? I hope that made sense. Love